Hello everyone! Welcome to our first week of Business 2220, Intro to HR. This week we're diving into two foundational chapters that examine how organizations plan for and recruit talent, and how these processes align with the broader business goals. Before we dive into content, I want to highlight the importance of connection. Please take a moment to visit the course introduction discussion board. I've shared a little bit about myself there, and I'd love to learn more about you as well. I also shared a fun fact that would be kind of fun and exciting to learn something different than just our personal titles and who we are on the online community. And I would love for you to share one as well so we can find ways to relate to one another and learn about each other beyond just the discussion boards. Building a collaborative learning environment and community will make this course much more engaging and rewarding, as we will learn much more from each other than we will just from being within our textbook or our assignments. In this course, you'll explore the core responsibilities of human resource management and how they impact organizational success. We'll cover topics such as HR functions and workforce planning, HR challenges and partnerships, legal considerations, job analysis and design, career training and development. These concepts provide the foundation for effective HR practices and prepare you to contribute to strategic people management in any organization and in any role. Now let's jump into Chapter 1, HR Planning and Recruitment. HR planning ensures organizations forecast talent needs and evaluate workforce capabilities to meet strategic goals. This chapter explores analytical tools and recruitment strategies that align people with organizational success. An HR professional focuses on trend analysis by reviewing historical data to project future staffing needs. They also look at ratio analysis. This is comparing business metrics to employee numbers to identify patterns. Many times you'll hear in organizations an FTE, and that's a full-time equivalent. If you have part-time or on-call roles, you'll need to see how you can factor in the different ratio of having multiple people that will equivalent to a full-time position. And then there's transitional matrices. This is what tracks employee movement to estimate internal labor supply, such as promotions, transfers, or even exits that take place within the organization. All of which is very important as you as an HR professional or even a leader in an organization will forecast their needs for workforce planning. As a leader or as an HR professional, there's recruitment strategies and employer branding fundamentals that are very important to ensuring that you have the right talent in the right role. Strategic HR planning places the right people in the right roles at the right time, which supports operational efficiency, employee engagement, and long-term success. Legal compliance and inclusive hiring practices are essential. There's things like internal recruitment, such as promotions, transfers, and succession planning. And then there's external recruitment, such as job boards, career websites, social media platforms, and employee referrals. When someone talks about employee branding, that's what communicates the organization's values, culture, and reputation to attract top talent. And then it's really important as a leader and an HR professional to provide realistic job previews. This provides candidates a clear picture of the role to reduce turnover and improve fit. Let's look at a practical example. A retail company anticipates a surge in holiday sales and uses historical data to forecast staffing needs. By analyzing turnover rates and seasonal demand, HR creates a targeted recruitment plan. First, they're going to analyze historical data, review past holiday sales and staffing patterns. Second, they're going to forecast demand by calculating turnover rates and seasonal needs. And then execute recruitment, use social media, job fairs, employer referrals, and then timely onboarding. This is ensuring staff is ready for peak season, and you'll want to hire this in time before the season actually starts. Another good example that happens especially in Las Vegas is lifeguards. We have to really plan for hiring all of the different properties in the pools, and if you don't hire them in time, the summer season will sneak up on you really, really quick. So this is a great example of workforce planning in all various types of roles. Now, Chapter 6 is going to jump into the selection and placement process. There's key stages of a selection process that are very critical and important for an HR professional or a leader to ensure it takes place. The first process is screening applicants. This is to identify candidates who meet basic qualifications. The second piece is to conduct interviews. Those might be a virtual interview, a one-on-one interview, or you may even consider doing a panel interview so that you can ensure that you have critical feedback from others, not just yourself. And this is what you're going to do to identify the candidates who meet the basic qualifications. Many times, some roles will require that you administer tests. This might be cognitive ability, maybe a personality inventory, and or work samples. Like, for example, you may have a graphic designer that you're hiring for, and you'll want them to present a portfolio so you can see the quality of work that they can produce. And then the fourth piece is making decisions. You're going to combine all of the data, such as the application, maybe even references, then the interview selection component, and then you're going to ensure that the organizational need is met. And those are the 4 key stages of the selection process. As you're going through the selection process, it's important to identify that the tools that you're going to use to select have met effective and quality needs for that specific role. So there's 3 key criteria components that you as a leader or an HR professional will determine to ensure that you're using tools that will not put us in any type of risk or liability and following equal employment opportunity rules. The first one being reliability. This is consistency of a measure over time. And then validity. How well will a tool predict job performance? And then number 3 is utility. Overall value in improving hiring outcomes. These are very critical as you look to see what selection tools you're using. You want to be sure that there's no bias that's involved and that it creates a fair and equitable environment for all candidates that are applying. Let's take a look at a practical example, specifically with tech startups that take place. So, for example, a tech startup uses structured interviews and coding assessments to evaluate software developer candidates. By aligning selection tools with job requirements, the company improves hiring accuracy and reduces turnover. The key stages of the selection process include structured behavioral interviews, technical coding assessments, work sample evaluations, and cultural fit discussions. They're going to ensure that there's validity, with the structured interviews minimizes bias and provides consistent evaluation criteria. Reliability, coding tests provide objective measures of job-related technical skills. And fairness, multiple methods strengthen compliance and ensure well-prepared hires. Here's what to focus on this week. First, introduce yourself in the discussion board. Second, review the syllabus and familiarize yourself with the course structure and expectations. Third, complete your discussion participation. You'll want to complete your discussion question within the first week by Wednesday, and then have 2 peer responses on 2 different days. You'll want to work through your SMART book chapters and make sure that you're doing all of your reading assignments. And then submit your assignments for your Learning 1 Unit project and then your quiz by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to pace yourself across the week to make the workload much easier to manage. Now, this is just the beginning of our journey into the next 5 weeks together. We'll really focus on connecting theory with real-world examples. And if you have any questions throughout our time together, please use the general Q&A discussion post because many times what you have questions on, other people do too. And then for any personal matters, feel free to email me or call me directly. And then my goal is to always have your grading completed by Monday of each week. And then your midterm feedback will begin in week 3. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Good luck through this course and continue to stay heavily engaged as we continue our journey together. Thank you.